So, leasing versus financing. Comparing leasing to financing to purchase the vehicle. It's important to know the difference. One of the reasons people lease is to avoid upfront money. Also you can avoid being upside down. Gap insurance using gap insurance. Gap insurance is a form of insurance that you purchase to help in the event that you are upside down on a vehicle. But gap insurance doesn't really apply with today's typical lease because and we'll talk about these in the next couple of slides, but the vast majority of leases today are what are called closed-end leases. And as long as you comply with the terms of the lease, you're not responsible for the difference in the value of the vehicle versus which is what gap insurance would cover. So if you had an open-end lease, you would be. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. Avoid paying maintenance on leases that are too long. Avoid paying for driving extra miles. So my stepdaughter let her boyfriend use her vehicle to the extent that the lease vehicle that he went several thousand miles over the limits for miles, and most of the miles are very low, 10 to 12,000 a year, which most of us drive more than that. So something to be aware of. You need to know your habits. Avoid paying full market price for repairs. The leasing terminology. Gross capitalized costs is all the costs being included in the lease payment. Capitalized cost reductions are paid at inception. Those can include your down payment, a trade-in if applicable. Adjusted capitalized costs, the gross capitalized costs minus any reductions. Residual value, the value at the end of the lease. If you see advertisements on TV, almost every one of them has a down payment. Especially if you're leasing a high-end car, they can be easily $4,000 or $5,000 up front, and all you're doing with that is buying down your payment. Money factor, it actually measures the rent portion of the payment. So when you lease, you are effectively renting the vehicle. So you're only paying for the portion of the vehicle you're using, theoretically. Lease terms and fees. Open-end lease, at the end of the lease, consumer pays any difference between the projected and actual ending market value. Those are unusual in today's world. Most leases are closed-end leases. At the end of the lease, the consumer doesn't make such payments. So and then other common leasing fees: excess mileage, disposition fee, early termination charges. Be very cautious about leases. With any type of financing, but this is, leases are one of these things where it's you certainly want to get multiple quotes. There are different dealers. There are companies that specialize in leasing only. So definitely want to be cautious. Warranties. Comparison shop for warranties. Implied warranties and unwritten warranties, express warranties, or written or oral warranties. So and then there's also full and limited warranties. Void service contracts. Service contracts tend to be overpriced, and that applies to just about anything. So the goal of comparison shopping. We'll start the next lecture with concept check 8.2.